Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. This time out, 2 new mini pedals from TC Electronic. Let's get started. Today we're checking out the TC Electronic HyperGravity Mini and Mimiq Mini. Now these are downsized versions of 2 other pedals from TC Electronic, the HyperGravity and the Mimiq. The HyperGravity is a multi-band digital compressor that emulates everything from vintage compressors all the way up to ultra-modern studio-style compressors. Mimiq is a doubler that allows you to create the effect of 2 players playing at the same time. Let's begin today with the Mimiq Mini. We have 3 controls. We have a dry level control that sets the level for your straight guitar. The tightness control sets how accurately the Mimiq follows your playing. When it's set all the way to my right, or turned all the way down, it's going to very accurately follow what you're playing. It'll be a very accurate recreation or double of your original part. As you turn that control up, the doubler gets looser and looser, which means it's a less accurate double of what you're playing, and it'll sound more like 2 players playing the same part at the same time. Our final control is the effect control. That sets the level of the double, so you can balance it against your dry guitar. Let's check out some sounds. I've got my dry part turned all the way up, and the effect turned all the way up as well. I've set the tightness control all the way up also, so it's actually going to be a very sloppy double. Here's our dry sound for reference. I'm playing a Friedman Vintage T through a Wampler Bravado combo amplifier. And now we'll engage the Mimiq. So you can hear that it's doubling what I'm playing, but with that tightness control turned all the way up, it's adding some inaccuracy in there. It's not following completely accurately, and it makes it sound like 2 live players playing at the same time. Now we can turn the effect down to balance it against our dry part. And as we turn down the tightness control, it'll get more accurate, more like what I'm playing originally. If we bring the effect back up, now I'll increase the tightness control again. The Mimiq Mini is an awesome device if you want to fatten up your solos, if you want to give the effect of 2 players playing at the same time, whether you're playing clean, rock, country, jazz, blues, whatever it might be. It's a great pedal for fattening up your sound. Next up we have the HyperGravity Mini. The original HyperGravity is a multi-band compressor that's based on TC Electronic's flagship System 6000 studio processor. The same algorithms are inside this tiny pedal. We have 3 controls. The attack control sets the attack time on the compressor. Sustain control sets the amount of compression, and then our level control sets the output volume so you can balance that against the unaffected sound when you switch the pedal on and off. Once again, here's our dry sound for comparison. Now I've got this set for pretty heavy-handed compression. The attack time is turned down so it's clamping down on the pick attack. I've got a fair amount of sustain being added, and I balanced the level against my dry signal. It's a great tone for chicken picking, or when you really want a part to pop. If we increase the sustain even more, turn up the attack time, we'll get a tone that's great for funk rhythm parts. Notice how much sustain that's adding to my signal. The compressor is pulling down that attack, but it's bringing up the sustain portion of the note, giving us a lot more apparent sustain. This makes it great for lead parts as well when you really want to have the guitar ring. Now as we turn the attack time up, more of the pick attack is going to come through and the feel is going to be more natural. It'll be less squashed. So let's increase that even more. We'll bring the sustain back a little bit. The effect at this point is we're evening out the dynamics. This is great if you want to make a part sit really well with the band. Nothing's jumping out, but nothing's falling away either. It's maintaining a very constant dynamic. Well, one of the great things about the HyperGravity Mini is that it accepts tone prints, just like the full-size HyperGravity does. This means you can go in and completely reconfigure the compressor into something totally different. Let's check a few of the tone prints out. To access tone prints, you just need the free Toneprint app from TC Electronic. I've got it loaded here on my iPhone. The way this works is the app actually beams the tone print information into your pickups, and that's transferred into the pedal and completely reconfigures it to a totally new device. So here's the stock sound that we were listening to before. Now let's send over a new tone print. Here's one by Devin Townsend called Depressor. So we'll beam this to the pedal. And let's check this out. That's a nice punchy sounding compressor with a real tight attack on it. Let's check out another. Here's one by Kirk Fletcher. It's dramatically louder. In fact, you could use it for really pushing the front end of your amplifier, but it's also squashing down nicely so our dynamics are controlled and we're getting a ton of sustain. Let's try one more. Here's one by Dave Ketching called The Chime. That's a heavy compression preset that's giving us a ton of sustain, but also really pushing the front end of the amplifier. It's great for popping things out for a solo. With that tone print capability, the HyperGravity Mini is one of the most versatile compressors on the market. You can start out with just the stock sound and it's wonderful. You can do a lot of work with that. But if you want to expand your horizons, there are a ton of tone prints available, and you can create your own tone prints using the Toneprint app as well. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the HyperGravity Mini and the Mimiq Mini. Two awesome pedals to add to your pedal board. They're compact, so they don't take up much room, but they sound great and offer you a lot of tonal options. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more guitars, more amps, more effects, and we'll be making a lot of music. I'm Mitch Gallagher.